Faced with severe fiscal deficit during cabinet meetings, Britain's Chancellor of the Exchequer swallowed aristocratic pride and turned secretly to the Jewish merchant, naming him the empire's sole underground treasurer capable of moving emergency gold reserves. Standing before the ornate marble fireplace inside the Prime Minister's residence in his plain unadorned black robe, Nathan retained a placid, cold gaze, never lifting the corner of his mouth even amid official praise. He well understood his borderline illegal smuggling survived solely on temporary political expediency, vulnerable to brutal government purges once peace was restored. No politician's oath could win his faith. His only trusted companions were the dull clink of gold coins and his ever-expanding invisible intelligence network covering all of Europe. He lived an ascetic life amid constant peril and booming fortune, constructing the family's black gold defensive barrier through unwavering logic and exhaustive overwork. Gradually he saw himself as far more than a mere commodity trader, a behind-the-scenes chess player reshaping geopolitics with capital and intelligence to dismantle entrenched aristocratic power built on tradition. Yet as fortune and supreme authority descended upon Nathan Rothschild, fate condemned him to a desolate spiritual wasteland in silence. In the decade after Waterloo, he reigned as the undisputed uncrowned king of finance across Britain and the whole of Europe. Every monarch needing war funding was forced to beg for loans at his London office. Hereditary dukes and cabinet ministers queued outside his door daily, a single glance or minor interest rate adjustment from him enough to seal the fate of tiny European principalities. Beneath his towering status lay an empty inner wilderness, crippling persecution, paranoia and constant fear of violence gnawing away at his sanity relentlessly. Well aware his Waterloo market raid wiped out the life savings of countless ordinary British investors, folk legends demonized him as a Jewish monster feeding on soldiers' blood and a scheming conspirator. Threatening extortionate anonymous letters poured into his estate, some slipped through his bedroom door after dark with faint rustling sounds. Nathan withdrew entirely from public appearances, stationing dozens of armed retired cavalrymen for round-the-clock patrol across his Sutton Manor grounds. 3 heavy iron locks reinforced his study door, and every incoming letter underwent poison inspection by servants using specialized testing liquid for absolute safety. After one late-night emergency cabinet meeting, he declined the Prime Minister's offered royal carriage and trudged alone through London's fog-chilled cobblestone streets wrapped in a wide black cloak. Street gas lamps stretched his stout lonely figure into a bleak silhouette, his right hand clamped around a loaded antique pistol tucked inside his coat pocket, spinning around abruptly at every echoing footstep with breakdown-bound hostility. His family life grew equally frigid, separated across different European capitals. His brothers exchanged nothing but cold financial data and political intelligence in correspondence, stripped of all familial affection. His children were raised under harsh, almost militaristic discipline. Nathan never showered them with parental love, training them merely as next-generation precise accounting machines. Years of unrelenting mental strain, chronic insomnia and severe gastric ulcers wrecked his health by his early 50s, leaving his complexion as pale and lifeless as polished marble. He calculated every bond interest rate with peerless shrewdness all his life, yet failed to foresee that shutting the whole world out behind wealth's barriers would lock himself forever inside a cold cage forged entirely of gold. Summer 1836 brought an unusually sultry, gloomy dusk to Frankfurt, Germany. Inside a plain bedroom near the ancestral Rothschild mansion, 59-year-old Nathan Rothschild lay on an unadorned heavy 4-poster wooden bed. He had returned to his hometown for his younger brother's wedding, yet severe long-term exhaustion and fatal sepsis confined him to bed shortly after arrival. Stagnant sweltering air hung thick inside the room, the setting sun dyeing heavy silk drapes a somber dark gold. Wasted away by illness, his once sharp angular cheeks sank inward, his piercing hawk-like eyes that once struck dread into European bankers clouded over with exhaustion and confusion. No flattering cabinet ministers or privileged British dukes hovered beside his deathbed, only his stern, calculation-minded brothers surrounded him in shadow. Even on his deathbed, his frail right hand clung tightly to newly arrived confidential London dispatches listing latest government bond prices tucked beneath his pillow. His body twitched involuntarily as he mumbled disjointed figures, messenger names and cross-channel aliases in delirium, locked in one final imaginary duel against unseen rivals plotting to seize his financial empire. After a lifetime of winning and scheming to build an impregnable information fortress atop Britain's broken financial ruins, death proved an impartial equalizer, beyond his well-worn black overcoat, he possessed nothing to carry into the afterlife. On July 28, 1836, the towering financial titan's heartbeat ceased entirely, marking the end of Britain's unprecedented age of unrivaled personal information monopoly. Ironically, fate mocked his passing by dispatching the death notice across all Europe via traditional carrier pigeon. When the bird landed on the Royal Exchange balcony bearing a tiny slip reading, "Nathan died in Frankfurt," the trading floor fell into dead silence before erupting into wild cheers and aggressive short-selling from speculators celebrating his demise. People gossiped cruelly about his greed and coldness like circus spectators watching a performer's exit, oblivious to the endless fear, solitude, and quiet yearning for ordinary peace that plagued the old financier through countless unlit lonely London nights. He sacrificed his entire soul to the rigid order of numbers and intelligence, leaving behind nothing but a hollow, bleak silhouette of the so-called uncrowned king buried beneath layers of historical hearsay and mystery. Night has fallen deep, outdoor fog thickening and fire embers fading slowly inside the hearth. Nathan Rothschild's life unfolded as a meticulously crafted yet suffocating tragedy, starring as an unfeeling protagonist atop Europe's most prosperous financial stage before fading away into utter emptiness. Beyond enduring wealth legends and bond trading systems attributed to his lineage, his legacy delivers a piercing warning about humanity corrupted by information and lives consumed by money. His turbulent life proves sharp intellect and unwavering discipline can secure countless victories amid volatile capital markets and build an information empire out of crisis. Still, when intelligence becomes your sole defense and suspicion your natural survival instinct, the grandest account book is nothing but an invisible prison of cold numbers, locking your soul in perpetual darkness without escape. Faithful to his father's lifelong precepts, he spent decades chasing safety through monopolized gold and unrivaled speed, inadvertently transforming himself into his era's richest yet most wretched prisoner. Today, the historic market panic near Waterloo and the secret hand signal beside the Rothschild pillar have dissolved into quiet, wistful tales buried under 2 centuries of dust. Reflecting on Nathan's tragic life on this serene night reminds us true prosperity never hinges on hoarded core assets, but on the courage to drop excessive defenses and embrace human warmth alongside inner peace. No intelligence network can ever outrun a parched soul's hunger for tranquility. Love, trust, and gentle inner calm remain our sturdiest comfort amid endless dark nights. Our story draws to a close. Release all lingering worries tied to money, intelligence battles, and psychological speculation alongside the dying firelight. Let exhaustion and anxiety drift away together with fading embers. Close your eyes and breathe evenly, wrapped securely in tonight's pure peace. May you drift into a warm, fearless night's rest. Good night.